Hey you, it's AOV, looking normal. We need to talk about color kicks. Alrighty, so color kicks or rainbow kicks. Before we start, just a disclaimer, this is just an introduction to the topic. It's a very in-depth subject, and I could spend an hour talking about it. But what I want you to take away from this is just a general idea of what color kicks are, how to put them together, so that you can then go and get creative with it. Color kicks are a pretty new type of hardstyle kick that is inspired by dubstep color bass. And the idea of coloring sound isn't new at all. It's been around for a long time. It's basically what vocoders do. And the specific fundamental technique is that you take the harmonic composition of one sound, and then you imprint the frequency response of a sound onto another sound, so that you have the texture from one sound and the harmonic makeup of another sound. And if that was a little bit too abstract for you, here's an example. So we have a dubstep bass here. Not exactly atonal, but also not the most harmonically rich sound. And then I have a second sound, which is just a chord layer playing a super saw. Beautiful. Now let's transfer that over to the bass sound. And I'm going to explain the plugin I'm using in a minute. So cool. All right, so let's make a kick. I have a standard hardstyle kick assembled here. Sounds like this. Let's loop that. It's just a punch reverb, and a pre-rendered tail. And then I have a bunch of pre-made, pre-selected color layers for this. So let's start with the first one, which again is a chord layer. Sounds like this. It's playing an A minor 7, and as you can see, I've staggered the notes a little bit for this sort of shimmery feel, like a rainbow. And so now let's apply that to the punch, because that is the core idea of a hardstyle color kick, is coloring the punch. Let's mute this color because it's just a sidechain input. Okay, I have a plugin here that I'm going to use that's called Morph. Now, this is very much on the pricier side. I don't expect you to have this or to be able to afford this. What I'm going to do is, in the description of this video, I'm going to link to a color-based tutorial by AU5, in which he goes through all kinds of techniques and plugins to achieve very similar results. And he gives great explanations, way better explanations than I could ever give. And I highly suggest you give him a follow. The man is a sound design wizard. So I'm going to use this plugin, which is an FFT vocoder, but I'm not going to do a deep dive into how this plugin works. What we're after here in this introduction is just results. So the chords are sidechained into Morph, and let's just see what we get out of the box. It gives such a cool musical feel to the kick, right? Now, one thing that tends to happen is you sort of start losing the transient with these techniques. The latest version of Morph has compensation for transients, but I've copied a little attack. Oh God. Outside of this group anyway, just to get a little bit of that snap back at the beginning. Very nice. And so now that the basic setup is in place, what we can do is go into this instance of Serum, and I'm just going to flip through some chord presets. This is not a sound design tutorial, so I'm just going to use presets and see what difference it makes. Love that one. So see, you can get vastly different creative results very, very quickly with this methodology. I can quickly flip through a couple of different punches that I've got prepared here. So this is the first one, second, third, and then sort of a mid-intro punch. Yeah. Yeah, that one's not great, huh? Let's go back to the first one and try a couple of different color layers. So let me disable the chord layer here and go to the next one, which is a vocal. All right, so let's use that as the sidechain input and see what happens. It's cool. Then I have a kitty, because I like cats. They do call me the Taylor Swift of hardstyle. So let's listen to our little kitty. And funny enough, it sounds like a dog when you put it through Morph. Don't tell the cat. And then lastly, I have a dubstep growl. Usually what you do is you apply chords to a dubstep sound. Now we're going to do it the other way around. We're going to take a dubstep sound and use that to color our punch. So just by itself, it sounds like this. Cool. Let's see what we get. And so now what I can do, I can just slip the sample around, and as you'll see, I'll get vastly different results very quickly. It's such a cool, fast, creative workflow, right? Okay, I got one more thing for you, and it's a little bonus technique. I've mentioned that there's a myriad of ways to achieve this effect. Here's another one. Let's disable Morph, and let's use a plugin that's pretty hot right now called Chroma by Synth Audio. Man, between Synaptic and Xynths, you really have some Scrabble winners here. So Chroma is fundamentally different from Morph in that it doesn't take a sidechain input. It is a spectral pitch quantizer, which is really just a fancy way of saying it looks at all the frequencies that exist in your sound, and it snaps them to the closest frequency that is in the scale that you provide. So right now, I'm only giving it an A. So let's see what that sounds. Again, without and with. Whoa. Let's try an A minor. A minor 7. So the full scale of A minor. It's too much. And it takes MIDI input as well. So that's just yet another way of getting creative with this coloring technique. And that, my friend, is it for this tutorial. Like I said, we've only seen the tip of the iceberg, but I hope this has given you an overview and it's inspired you to do a little bit more research on your own and to just start playing around with this and make some cool sounds. Make awesome stuff. That's why we're here. Can't wait to hear it. See you later.
Time to lose your f***ing mind.